Ba-na-na-na-na-na. Hey, welcome to a special edition of Impact Wrestling Review by KocoSports. I am the huge one, Dave Koco from KocoSports.com or KocoSports.net. It's where the world comes to kick ass, your home for combat sports, and above all, where it's okay to be a passionate fan. Great place for marketing. Please do check it out. And also ProWrestling.me, as we're trying to build a great pro wrestling fans community. Alright, so first off, I want to give a shout out to Andy Paps and the TNA members of the Internet Infantry. I gave up on TNA, they kept bugging me to review it, and I said I'll only review good TNAs because most TNA fans and TNA people only want to hear good things about themselves. So I made something called the Andy Paps Challenge. And the Andy Paps Challenge was, I'm like, if you find me an Impact that's awesome or good, I will review it. Because if it's a bad Impact, WWE fans ain't going to watch it. TNA fans ain't going to want it. You have to wear delicate gloves. They're sensitive. So I was expecting it to be shit because Andy Paps and a couple other members of the Internet Infantry never gave up. And, this was Kurt Angle's. I'm a huge Kurt Angle fan. It was his last match in TNA. And, Andy Paps cashed in, and I watched it, and I enjoyed it. So, most likely, I'll only do Impact reviews if they're a win, because that's the only way fucking Impact fucking even gets views. Alright, so, congratulations, Andy Paps, you're the hero, the villain, depending on how you look at it. We always ask win, loss, or tie. What did you think of tonight's Impact Wrestling? And I thought it was a tie. I thought it was a win. I thought it was a really good show. They did a great job promoting Kurt Angle, making it feel special. If you haven't watched it in a while, it was pretty good. Now, not everything was perfect, but it was a pretty good show, and if they keep this up, it'd be great. So there you go. The good, the bad, the ugly. I'm trying to do a little bit quicker reviews. The good is, Kurt Angle helping put people over on his last tour, last stop, so that was really good. The bad was just how many Dixie Carter fucking promos can you have? And the ugly was Grado and the fact that the Hardys are going to have 2 matches next week. So those were the good, bad, and ugly of it. Let's break down the show. Dixie Carter opens the show. The roster surrounding her. She brings Kurt to the ring. Says, how awesome Kurt Angle was. And I thought this was a classy move. It's a lot better than, firing Ken Anderson and him saying fuck off TNA at an indie event. It's more classy than holding Hulk Hogan's leg, begging him to stay. So, I don't know. I can't say Hulk Hogan anymore without thinking it's not really 10 inches. That's Hulk Hogan. That's not Terry Bollea. Oh, man. What the fuck is wrong with the world today? Anyway, so I thought it was a really classy deal. Bobby Lashley comes out. I don't know if he's always been a heel, but he's a heel now. He says nice things about Kurt Angle, but he just says, you're not ready for me, I'll beat you, and all that. So I found it to be quite interesting. I thought it was done in a classy way and built up for the show. Next, you have King of the Mountain match, Eric Young, Will Ospreay, Big Demo, Braun, and Jimmy Havoc. I am reading these results again off WrestlingInc.com. It's just the easiest. Eric Young does win this match. It's an enjoyable match, but here's the thing about King of the Mountain matches. It's confusing as balls, and I know the rules. It's one of those, it's like almost Dragon Gate-like. You're like, I know what's going on, but I don't want to explain it to you, dude. It's fucking difficult. There's qualifiers, cages. I thought the match was really short. I don't know if they cut it and edited for time. I was glad to see Will Ospreay, who's headed off to New Japan. I was glad to see him. I really enjoyed the match. Plus, I got to see some people that I probably would have never seen. So I really enjoyed it. Eric Young does win, which is kind of obvious. I mean, it was the only real big TNA guy. How the fuck does Bram still have a job? Really? Bram has a fucking job. Okay. Be positive. Be positive. Whew. Tiptoe through the tulips during the TNA reviews. Alright, so we're tiptoeing through the tulips here. So Eric Young does win. Jeff Hardy returns next week on Impact. Yay. You know what? I'm going to shoot with you here. I hope Dixie keeps losing money. And not because I'm a WWE fanboy. The shows are better without the WWE stars. The shows are legit better. You know, they did a classy ending for Kurt Angle. Ken Anderson fired, quit, whatever. If you just get rid of the fucking Hardys, you got a fucking show that's different. We're an alternative. Fuck you. Fuck you. There's no... Fuck. Be positive, Dave. Be positive. Fucking TNA fans are gonna fucking cry. Anyway, fucking Jeff Hardy's coming back, and that makes you excited because you hate WWE. Got it. Understood. Makes perfect fucking sense. Next, you got Maria and one of the worst fucking segments of the night, talking to Dixie Carter. She wants to be the leader of the Knockouts division, but doesn't plan on wrestling. I don't fucking get it, so whatever. And she wants her to meet her husband, and Dixie's just like, hey, I'm on television. I'm going to act big time. I'm not going to do that. Next, you got a Goth Style Decay video. I don't know. It's not my cup of tea, but I could see why people like it. Bennett and Maria come out, and they basically trash Kurt Angle and call out Dixie Carter, but instead of Dixie Carter comes Galloway. Galloway is the fakest motherfucker in the world. He just is. I don't fucking like... God. Just keep EC3. Send Kurt on... Like, there's... You should... moving on. Kurt Angle did an amazing job all night. He put over the American Wolves. He helped put over Bennett. And it's just... I don't know. Kurt Angle is just such class. I'm a huge fan of Kurt Angle. And that's how you go out on your last show. It's, his last TNA show. Unless, of course, he comes back later down the line. But as of now, it's his last TNA show. And I just thought it was cool. He talks with the Wolves. He talks with Bennett. And it just helps people get over and getting their characters over. So, Hulk Hogan, take some fucking notes. Next, Gail Kim versus Jade, which was supposed to be a dream match a couple months ago, but Jade, dude, dear fans that only watch TNA, you have no fucking idea how good Jade is. Jade is like one of the best fucking goddamn female wrestlers in the world, and she's finally showing that. I have no idea what the fuck is going on with Jade. None. Fuck, man. But this was one of her best matches. I think this is one of the better matches of the night. You got Gail Kim versus Jade. A lot of TNA dream matches on this show. I really enjoyed it. Plus, it was in a big arena, so it looked really good. So, score 1 for TNA. But Gail Kim versus Jade, I thought was a great match. I think Jade just has to wake the fuck up. You know who the fuck you were on the Indies? Wake the fuck up! At least she's fucking improving. It blows my fucking mind. Like, if someone said, hey, I said this about fucking, I forget who I fucking said this about. But if someone said, hey, a bunch of aliens came down and fucking stole her talent and stuck it in a basketball and head off to fucking Space Jam Planet, I would believe it. I wouldn't even question it. Jade used to be, she's still a good wrestler, but you have no idea how great she used to be. Fucking amazing. Just fucking... But I enjoyed this match a lot. You got Gail Kim versus Jade. Gail Kim wins, and I don't know how old Gail Kim is, but every time I see her, she's fucking more beautiful and still can hold her fucking self in a ring. Just amazing athlete. Clips of Spud and Carter from last week. Fucking Rockstar Spud. You know what? I used to be a Rockstar Spud guy. I'm like, oh, I fucking get it. He's the assistant. Haha, he's fucking funny. Oh, I get it. He wants to get on fucking EC3. Now I'm just like, Jesus fucking Christ, Spud. Get the fuck over yourself. So yeah, Matt Hardy is basically taking everything away from EC3, which fucking kayfabe-wise makes no sense at all, but fuck it. Fuck it. Exactly. So Matt Hardy cuts a. That's one thing. I do fucking hate Matt Hardy, but he does cut some really good fucking funny heel promos. He cuts a promo where he's fucking worried, but then not worried, and I thought it was a pretty goddamn good promo. Next, you got Beer Money versus the Wolves. This to me is a dream tag team match. The Wolves are one of my favorite tag teams of all time. Beer Money, even though James Storm has lost a step or two, are still amazing. And I would love to see Bobby Roode go one-on-one with people and should be in a main event. You know what? I'm just going to keep saying it. I'm going to keep saying it until the fucking day I die. EC3 should still be undefeated. Bobby Roode should be in singles competition, and everything should be leading up to a Bobby Roode versus EC3 fucking match. Anything besides that has been nothing but a fucking disaster. 4 fucking days. Let it go, Dave. You're going to be positive. But no, I really enjoyed the match. Beer Money does get the titles, and they're the new champions. I don't know if I would have gave up the title so fast on the Wolves, but if anyone deserves the titles, it's Beer Money. It's just, they are TNA, and fucking they've been there for a fucking long-ass time. They show a lot of video tributes to it, to Kurt Angle throughout the night. Some great memories. Just Kurt Angle versus Samoa Joe was one of my favorite. I still say this, and I know TNA fans get mad. Kurt Angle versus Samoa Joe was the peak. Was the peak of Impact Wrestling. It went downhill from there. I know people are going to disagree, but you know, when you say everything is awesome, does your opinion really matter? Lashley talks to Galloway. They're setting up another feud. I guess Bobby Lashley's going to be the main heel. I'm okay with one or two WWE stars. It's just when there's fucking 97 of them beating. So yeah, there you go. So I guess Lashley is going to be the new heel that everyone has to go through. Next is the worst fucking segment of the night. I love peanut butter. And I love squid, to eat squid. Squid tastes really good, you know? I love squid and I love peanut butter. I love Grado and I love TNA. But together, that's peanut butter and squid, and it fucking just sucks. The Grado experience failed. I think Grado is amazing. I don't know if they booked him wrong. I don't know what the situation is. Grado is fucking hilarious. And in TNA, he's just fucking balls awful. Balls awful. Hopefully that changes. Eli Drake and Goddard comes down and beat him up. So, and yeah, Ellie accidentally strikes Jesse with the briefcase. Grado grabs it and runs away. And Grado's not supposed to be there. I'm a Grado fan, and this just sucks. So next, you got Kurt Angle versus Bobby Lashley. I thought it was definitely match of the night. It was a great match. Bobby Lashley's not a great wrestler, but he's a great performer because he hides his weaknesses. I wish more guys who can't wrestle that great hid their weaknesses. Bobby Lashley's amazing at hiding his weaknesses. I thought the match was amazing. I did not see Bobby Lashley going over, even though it completely makes sense and it's the right thing to do. It's just, you don't see that very often in American pro wrestling. So Bobby Lashley goes over, Kurt Angle, there's a lot of people, I can list on and on and on, who just abuse TNA, and TNA fans fucking just like, yeah! They're abusing us and stealing our money and fucking making us horrible. I hate WWE, but I love when they fucking take my TNA money and have shitty matches and don't try. Yeah! Kurt Angle wasn't that. There's a very short list of WWE superstars coming over to TNA and giving a shit. And Kurt Angle has to be on top of that list. Kurt Angle gave a shit. Kurt Angle put on great matches. Kurt Angle cared. So, as an old school TNA fan who's given up on hope on the fan base, I just want to thank Kurt Angle for everything he did. And I really do believe Samoa Joe versus Kurt Angle was the peak of the company. And I just think fucking, out of all the guys they spent money on, Hogan, Bischoff, Booker T, Kevin Nash, there's so many. Even the Hardys. The Hardys. Yes, even the Hardys. There's very few people that actually put in effort and fucking tried once they left WWE. A lot of people used Impact as a retirement home. And there's a few select WWE guys that did not do that, and they made an impact, and they fucking tried, and they busted their ass to make the product better. Top of my head, Kurt Angle, EC3, Bully Ray, Christian, D'Lo Brown, Jerry Lynn. I think that might be the end of the list. The rest are pretty much shit. There might be one or two guys I'm forgetting. But yeah, they didn't fucking come in fucking drunk, wasted, fucking ruining pay-per-views. They fucking just did the best they fucking could, tried to put over as many fucking people as they could. It's just, I don't know. I wish Dixie was a lot smarter about who she hired and who really cared about the company. Out of WWE guys that came, Kurt Angle was one of the few that really cared about the company. Others just pocketed the money. That's it. And so from the bottom of my heart, fucking thanks Kurt Angle for fucking putting on a great fucking effort, for trying. It didn't always work out as planned, but when you fucking went to the ring, you busted your fucking ass. And you can't say that for a lot of the retirement homes that is WWE guys in Impact. Bobby Lashley at the end just beats the fucking living shit out of a bunch of faces. A bunch of faces come down. Galloway comes down, gets speared. Eddie Edwards comes down, gets speared. And then Ethan Carter III comes out. And I love EC3. It's just a bit odd. This fucking, I spear everyone, but not EC3. It's, I don't know. So Lashley just walks away smiling. And you know what? A Lashley heel, EC3 champ fucking face thing is where the fuck this should be going. This is where it should be going. I have no idea how fucking EC3 is not on top of this fucking company. It's fucking ridiculous. It's utterly fucking ridiculous. So overall, I give this show a win. My 3 stars of the night, obviously number 1, Angle, 2, Lashley, 3, Gail Kim. Match of the night, main event, but there was a lot of great runners-up, including the tag team match and Gail Kim, Jade match, and hopefully Jade gets her shit together. Alright, so now we got some comments. Let's go through some comments. We are not doing the show live because I'm supposed to be at work right now, but I showed up 2 hours early, so I figured I'd rock out an Impact review for Andy Paps. Andy Paps might be the only one that's happy with this review. Andy Paps, every thumbs down is on you. The blood is on your thumb. So Andy Paps' question is, what name would you choose to replace Impact Wrestling now? I don't know. I would just either go TNA Impact. I don't think it's the name. I mean, you could change it and just change the name and fucking this is a fresh start and legit make it a fresh start. But I still think it's going to take time. It's going to take time because if anyone reviews Impact honestly, fucking TNA fans are going to turn on them. And anyone who doesn't review it is a TNA fan, who reviews it as a TNA fanboy, isn't going to help. I don't want to call people out, but pretty much people that review TNA would be like, this is awesome. But you've said the last 80 fucking shows are awesome. So when I go and turn it on and it's not fucking good, that's why I'm glad you cashed in tonight, Andy Paps. Today's show was actually really good. If I went with fucking my TNA so-called friends, every show would be good. And that's not the case. It's not the case at all. And hopefully they could turn that around. Would I change? I don't know. Global Force, you could name anything. I don't want to sound like Gary Vaynerchuk here. Gary Vaynerchuk's an online media guy. Go buy his book. But Gary Vaynerchuk's a fucking name is a name. It's marketing and reputation. That's it. I mean, I do like the name Lucha Underground. I was going to start a company called Florida Underground, but someone else did. I wonder if they're going to pay me. I'm just kidding. So, I don't know. Just fucking pick a name. I do think a name change would help because then you can market it like it's a real change and people will check it out. But at the same time, the product has to be good. You know, if you call it TNA Impact or fucking Global Force or fucking Lemon Tea fucking proudly presents Dixie Carter's Pro Wrestling Adventure, whatever you fucking name it, the product has to be goddamn good. I mean, think about it. World Wrestling Entertainment's a dumbass name. I thought Ring of Honor's a cool name. New Japan, All Japan, they're not too bad. I mean, it just, I don't know. It just depends on like marketing. I really do. I think like you can market any fucking name. I mean, Uber, Google, Facebook, names are fucking ridiculous. Yahoo, there you go. So, I don't know if it's as big of an important a name. I mean, I would try to fix everything, and then if I was a new investor, I'd rename it. But I don't know. So it should be interesting because the problem is they do have brand recognition, but you mention Impact to anyone outside of TNA fans, and they're just like, ah. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know. Boo, boo, boo. Alright, I must go through some comments here. I apologize. Why no every week TNA reviews? And I've mentioned this before. I want to review pro wrestling for pro wrestling fans. I want to be a fan. I don't want to be a show, and there's a lot of them, that attack the fan base. If I reviewed Impact every week, it would just be me making fun of the fan base, and I don't want to become something I hate. That's why I don't do it every week. I will have Andy Paps challenge. Andy Paps is going to watch Impact every week, and he's like, if it's good, I'll review it. If it's bad, I'm not, because WWE fans ain't going to watch it. TNA fans are fucking... I mean, I really thought about just fucking doing TNA reviews where, like, they're 3 seconds long. I'm like, it was, like, for real. This is, like, I would love to do a social experiment. Obviously, people would know I'm fucking with them. But I'd love to do a social experiment where you only go 3 minutes, read the results, say everything is awesome, then go, I don't care what WWE fanboys think, TNA is better than WWE. I would think you would be very successful with the TNA market. I don't think you even have to watch the show. You just fucking say that. And they're like, yeah, he gets it. Yeah. Alright. It's just, I don't know. It's beyond ridiculous with me. But you know what? This show was for Andy Paps and the fact that I showed up to work way too early. But yeah, maybe I'd do more TNA reviews. If TNA fans had thicker skin. If it got more views. I'd probably do it, but I just don't want to do it because this was the most positive Impact show I've ever probably done, and I've even thrown jabs. Like, it's just ridiculous. Why do people hate Matt Hardy? Is it because he's fat? No. Samoa Joe is fat. People love him. There's been fat guys people love. Bam Bam Bigelow was considered fat by standards. People loved him. I don't think it's your weight. Kevin Owens is fat. I don't think Matt Hardy's that fat. I think it's funny because I call him Fat Hardy and he's out of shape, and his brother Druggy Hardy's so skinny. I just don't think Matt Hardy's that good of a wrestler. I think he's funny being a heel, like in ROH, and he did a lot of that tonight. Outside of him being a funny heel, he's pretty fucking worthless. He's not the best wrestler in the company. He's not the most over in the company. And here's the thing that fucking drives me crazy. If Matt Hardy was on SmackDown, all these TNA fans would hate him. It's just, what the fuck, man? Be honest with yourself. Matt Hardy's a fucking piece of shit who could sometimes be funny. That's it. He should not be the champ, and there's no way he should be. The only reason he's a champ is because he's a WWE reject. That's it. He's not fucking there improving TNA. He's not no Kurt Angle. He's no Christian. He's no fucking Bully Ray. He's not fucking improving the product. That's it. I mean, he's not even the best fucking Hardy. It has nothing to do with him being fat. He's just not that talented. And you could be like, well, he should not be the champ of the company. Period. End of fucking story. It has nothing to do with looks. I mean, I could probably list 10 fucking fat guys that look worse than Matt Hardy that are a billion times better wrestlers. He is a somewhat funny heel that sucks at everything else. And that's it. That's pretty much Matt Hardy. That's fucking Matt Hardy. I mean, why do you fucking hate him? He's not that good at wrestling. It's not because he's fat. It's not because he's a WWE guy. Look at Look at Bubba Ray. Bubba Ray, Bully Ray, whatever the fuck you want to call him. Look at him. He's the perfect example of why Matt Hardy sucks. Bully Ray cuts better promos. Bully Ray's fatter. Bully Ray puts on better matches. Bully Ray's more entertaining. So, I know it's easy to be like, oh, it's body shaming, but no, it's not. I'd rather fucking have Samoa Joe. I'd rather have Bully Ray. Hashimoto. Fucking anybody. Anybody. Except Bull Dempsey. Matt Hardy, I fucking hate you, but you're better than Bull Dempsey. See? We have common ground. Woo! Woo, woo, woo! So, anyway, please sign up for ProWrestling.me. Check out KocoSports.net. And yes, I agree. TNA is better than WWE. How many comments do you think we're going to get? Andy Paps. Every thumbs down is on you. The blood on your thumb. The blood is on your thumb. For every thumbs down. Alright, Andy Paps, thank you for cashing in. I really did enjoy this Impact. And you know what? Andy Paps is becoming the reviewer of the reviewer. Because, oh god. Anyway, this was supposed to be a short show. Like, comment, subscribe. With that, I am... Oh, one more thing before I am over. I'm probably going to try to do a Koco Plays next. Because I still have, like... Oh, maybe I won't. I don't know. Subscribe to Koco Plays anyway, because more shows are coming. With that, I am over. Bum, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum.